So when we're trying to master lifting the soft palate and stretching the tissues taut in the back of the throat for a more open tone and more freedom for singing high pitches, this straw in the water trick can be a really nice, useful exercise. So we want the straw to be elevated above the bottom of the cup because you don't want the straw to be completely blocked from letting any air out like this. That would not work. And we want to be able to see the bubbles like this, just like a consistent bubble, not bubbles that are bursting open into your face and not bubbles that are stopping. So in other words, this is a visual representation of the steady airflow that we're hopefully using while we're doing this exercise. And this is a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. If you think of those words, semi means partially, occlude means to block. And so we're partly blocking the exit hole for our air and our sound by using this straw. So instead of having a completely non-occluded exit, we're able to more carefully regulate the airflow because we're partly blocking the exit route. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when we're pushing air up through our trachea from our lungs, the air is encountering our vocal folds here inside of our larynx. And sometimes we can push too much air through the larynx because the larynx is partially occluding, almost entirely occluding the trachea. Does that make sense? So then above the trachea, there's no resistance anymore to the airflow because it's just like our open mouth. So we have resistance here and then no resistance here. When we provide an extra occlusion on this end above the larynx, we can equalize the air pressure below and above the larynx, which can help reduce any excess air that we might be pushing through. So that's one benefit to this. Seeing the bubbles can also ensure that we are using a steady stream of air, which is another benefit. But the primary benefit I want for you from this is to achieve an understanding of the sensation of the open feeling in the back of the throat. So we've talked about lifting the soft palate before, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So there's another name for the soft palate. It's called the velum. And you can find it in the back of your throat. You remember how to find the soft palate?
No.
No? Okay. So if you put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth like this, you can feel your hard palate. Mm-hmm. It's hard, doesn't move because it's hard. Mm-hmm. And then you can slide your tongue backwards towards your throat. Mm-hmm. And you feel how the tissues change. Mm-hmm. Those soft tissues back there, that's your soft palate. And your soft palate can move because it's flexible. So when you yawn like that, your soft palate ascends and your uvula retracts, which is great when you're singing if you can achieve that because you get more space. So you notice when you yawned just now, like what sensations would you say you felt in the back of your throat where your soft palate is that you just felt with the tip of your tongue?
Probably like a stretching.
Yeah, stretching. Mm-hmm. So you were stretching, just by moving your body, right? Like a part of your body. But we're going to create a stretch using air pressure. Okay. And the velum or soft palate is what can block the little hole that's in the roof of your mouth, which allows air or mucus to slide down from your nasal passageway into your throat. So one way of being able to tell if your soft palate is up is by doing this. If you puff up your cheeks like that and the air is trapped in there, and it's not coming out your nose, and the only way it can come out is through your lips if you push really hard, that means you've sealed off that exit route in the roof of your mouth with your velum, so your soft palate is up a bit. So that's another way of feeling, is the soft palate lifted? You can do to check. So we're going to put our hand over the cup and completely block the airflow coming out of the cup. And when we do this, you'll see my cheeks puff out like this. because air pressure is pushing against the insides of my cheeks. So let your cheeks puff out. Do you feel the air pushing? I think you might not be blocking.
I'm trying to block it off as much as I can.
Yeah, you've got to really. That sounds a little better. And do you feel, can you let the air puff your cheeks out? And then so that feeling of the pressure on the inside of your cheeks, because the air is pushing, do you feel the same feeling in the back of your pharynx? Pharynx just being a fancy word for throat. The sensation to me is similar to gagging or yawning. It's like a push backwards.
I kind of just feel mostly my cheeks.
So see if you can push the air backwards towards the back of your throat so you can feel that sensation of a stretch back. The air pushing back against the back part of your throat.
I feel it that way when I don't like my cheeks puff up.
Trying to think of any other words. It's like a feeling of pressure because the air is putting pressure and stretching the tissues apart. You feel it? In the back?
Kinda.
So part of the point of this exercise is also to release any excess tension in the constrictor muscles in the back of your pharynx. So now,
I feel it a little bit, but
not very intensely. So maybe try letting your cheeks stay unpuffed so you can really push all the air back and make sure this is really blocked so all the air goes into the back of your throat. Oh, I know a thing I say. It reminds me of like if you're blowing up a balloon and you accidentally lose control and all the air goes shooting into your mouth. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Or one time somebody put a CPAP mask on me and the air was like shooting into my trachea and it was like, whoa, it's that same feeling of like a really open, lots of air pressure kind of feeling.
I feel a little bit, but it's not like
super intense.
No.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because I can't tell what you're feeling, but it is pretty subtle.
Okay.
So,
because I'm feeling something, I'm not feeling nothing. It's just
Okay.
not like.
probably it's going well. It's hard to say for sure, but oh shoot. But the next step is to phonate along with everything we just did. So you keep the air pressure going and you can do a siren or whatever. So if you want to warm up before your call back tonight, you could do this. I love a champagne glass just because, especially as a female, it's easy to block the mouth. If the cup mouth is too wide, it's just so hard to completely block the airflow with the palm of your hand. But you could sing your vocal exercises with the straw. You could take the straw out and do the regular straw phonation we've done before.
I don't think we've done regular straw phonation.
Oh, we haven't?
Is that just like...
Yes, and keep your lips completely wrapped around the straw. And so you can alternate. You can sing without the straw, with the straw, with the straw in the water. And if you have a mirror, then you can watch the bubbles to see, like, keep track of your airflow and make sure it's consistent from bottom to top. Any questions? Okay, we'll stop there.